Aditya Digital Network presents the longest running episodic talk show in India in association with the Dusra.net, India's number one and only sports, education, and entertainment. The Rishabh Pant situation is quite amusing. For him, the dilemma is to be or not to be, and for the selectors, the dilemma becomes to pick or not to pick as far as the final 15 of the 20 over World Cup is concerned. So, who could be the final 15 of the 20 over World Cup? That is a question no one knows the answer till now. And who will be the lucky 15 and who will miss out? Well, that's something that has to be analyzed over the next 7 to 8 months. But for now, our focus is should Rishabh Pant be picked up in the 15? Logic dictates yes, he is the best keeper at this point in time if we are looking forward as far as MS Dhoni is concerned. And then we have a couple of backup keepers in half a keeper in KL Rahul and then Sanju Samson. If we are also looking beyond the likes of Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Shikhar Dhawan, then Sanju Samson is the future in the team. He may or may not keep, but taking the team forward. Post the 2023 World Cup, Rishabh Pant, Sanju Samson, Prithvi Shaw, Shubman Gill are the future few individuals. Rishabh Pant finds himself in the same boat as once upon a time Rohit Sharma did over 7 years ago. We had the same questions about Rohit Sharma. This guy has the talent but is not making runs. Even then, Rohit Sharma's position in the team was not a certainty. And now, 7 years later, Rohit Sharma and the Indian team are inseparable. So let me tell you this. Let me tell all my listeners this, as I have reiterated in the previous episodes. Just as we revere Rohit Sharma right now, we will do the same to Rishabh Pant. It's not about being patient, it's just about giving him more chances despite his low scores. Post MS Dhoni, Rishabh Pant was always going to be the individual who was going to take the Indian keeping forward. If it was Kapil Dev who changed the nature of Indian fast bowling and then Zahir Khan took it forward, then it will always be MS Dhoni who took the Indian keeping to the next level. One can say that apart from Dhoni, there are a few good keepers who were a part of the team, but then they were always going to be temporary keepers. MS Dhoni was the first proper keeper who brought respect to the art of wicket keeping. Before MS Dhoni, while a Parthiv Patel and a Dinesh Karthik tried their best to bring respect to the team, the selectors did not have enough faith in them to keep them continuing. They would have changed the nature of the keeping, but the selectors found no faith in them. But before Karthik and Parthiv Patel, there were no keepers one can talk about. Yes, to some extent you can talk about Syed Kirmani or Farooq Engineer, but they have never attained the legend MS Dhoni has. And when we talk about Indian wicket keeping, we will always talk about MS Dhoni first. Till the time Rishabh Pant establishes himself, MS Dhoni for me will always be the number one wicket keeper in the team. And a decade from now, Rishabh Pant will become the best keeper one has ever seen, and even the likes of Ridhiman Saha. His role will always be what was for the shift the nature of Indian keeping. But let's keep the Rishabh Pant debate going. Despite the scores he makes or the contribution he does or the questions around his technique as far as the keeping is concerned, should he be in the team? Yes, he should be in the team. What different can be done to keep Rishabh Pant in the team? Well, one thing they can do is probably rest Rohit Sharma for the second 20 over match against West Indies. Let Rishabh Pant open with Rahul and then let's see what happens. If a few experts come up with this that Pant is not a natural opener, why should he be opening when we have so many good openers waiting outside? Well, my answer is till today, all the great openers were not even natural openers. Virender Sehwag, Sachin Tendulkar, Rohit Sharma, Sana Jayasuriya were always your middle order batters, but they had so much of talent that they couldn't be accommodated in the already muddled up middle order. So the captains and the coach gave these very individuals a chance to change their sporting life forever. And the result is in front of you. Sana Jayasuriya, Rohit Sharma, Virender Sehwag, Sachin Tendulkar took to opening as a fish takes to water. So giving a chance to Rishabh Pant to open just to see what are the options after Rohit Sharma, we have to give him the chance. While Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli will be there for another 7 to 8 years, someone like KL Rahul is expected to be there for the next decade, and a certain Rishabh Pant is going to be there for the next 15 years. So why not look forward beyond Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma? Somebody will obviously miss out in the final 15, and we don't know what is in the mind of the team management as well as the selectors. Why don't the team management and the selectors throw a punt? Oblivious of what the pseudo experts will say, let's have a team which may shock everybody. No Rohit Sharma, no Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant opening with KL Rahul, and let Shreyas Iyer be given a chance for captaincy. Yes, one can say that why should we experiment with such an important tournament just 10 months from now? But a 20 over match is like an Indian movie. One doesn't need to plan beforehand and one doesn't need to think about what the movie gives as a lesson after you watch the movie. It's all about fun and frolic and constant experimentation. But Kohli, who is desperate to have a world trophy in his cabinet, will never want to take such a radical step. They will want to stick with the tried and tested and will not want to experiment too much. Apart from the Rishabh Pant debate, there is another debate which has plagued this sport for the past 10 months, and that is the middle order muddle. This term, coined by a few experts whose expertise can be doubted, who were themselves not a regular part of the team and had become discards even before they could start their career, they have coined this term middle order muddle. Why? Because we don't know who our number 4 to number 7 will be. And according to them, this is what plagued us in the 50 over World Cup earlier this year, and that is why we couldn't go beyond the semi final stage. I repeat, we could not go beyond the semi final stage. First of all, there is no middle order muddle. Keep debating as to who will be your number 4 batter is a debate that should be put to rest by now. You keep hearing this that India are dependent on their first 3 batters. Well, that is the case with every team. What about Australia? They are dependent on Warner, Smith, and up to some extent Aaron Finch or Joe Burns, and Marnus Labuschagne has joined this dream team. Now that's the dilemma. If the openers keep making runs, then the people from number 3 onwards will not get a chance to show that skill and opportunities. But if the openers fail and you have batters from number 3 to 7 coming as early as the second over, then the question becomes, why aren't the openers contributing? So either way, it's a lose-lose situation. The openers contribute, the lower order cannot come in early and show that skill. If the openers don't contribute and get out early, then the lower order, which has a chance to contribute, are also jolted by this sudden appearance and they don't know what to do. And there is no solution to this. So we just have to go by what is available to us. So, for example, if in tonight's match, by some chance, Rohit doesn't make runs and then Kohli comes at number 3, and then he goes on to make runs as he has been doing, and nobody apart from Kohli gets a chance to showcase that skill, then what does one do? One says that Kohli make runs all the time, others don't get a chance. There is too much dependence on Kohli. He makes runs all the time and then the others don't get a chance. But if on the flip side, the opposition team is able to get Kohli out, then what will number 4 to number 7 do? Will they be able to recreate what Kohli and Rohit have done for decades, or will they be nervous and get out early? And then the debate will come. There is a middle order muddle. Should one experiment in terms of just juggling around the batting order? Yes. Should one listen to people who say that don't juggle around the batting order? No. Don't listen to these individuals. Can we shock the world, especially the Indian cricket watching fans or the pseudo experts, and say that if Rohit gets out early in a match, then can we send a Shreyas Iyer or a Rishabh Pant at number 3 and let Kohli come at number 5? Yes, we can do that. There is no law against experimenting, even if you have only 10 months left for the World Cup. You have the license to experiment as long as it is done in conjecture with the selectors, the coach, the captain, and the team management. If they agree, then nobody apart from them has a right to question this kind of juggling. And if experimenting with Rishabh Pant and sending him at number 3 solves the problem and gives him more chances and he is able to contribute, then there is no law against that. But as generous a captain as one can be, Kohli may not give up his number 3 position. The challenge is that we expect someone like Rishabh Pant to make 40 of 20 balls every time. The only thing that will work is if Pant is told to stop listening to everyone and anyone who is beyond his teammates and team management and the senior people who make the decision. Because apart from Pant, there are also a few people whose place in the side is being questioned by these very pseudo experts. One of them is Kunal Pandya, though he is as good as his brother Hardik Pandya and equally good as Jadeja in terms of bowling, batting, and fielding, yet he was let go of and Jadeja was brought back in. We are questioning Kunal Pandya as far as his economy rate is concerned, as we have made things like economy rate as well as average so important in this sport that we cannot look beyond these trivialities. Then the next dilemma is, should Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal play together in the team? Well, my answer is no. We cannot have these two individuals playing in the team and weaken the batting order. Do we need more and more all rounders from number 6 onwards? Yes, we do. We can have one of Kuldeep and Chahal. Forget what kind of pitches will be there in Australia. Let's not even care about if the Australian pitches will be bouncy, if we need 2 spinners or 3 fast bowlers or whatever. That is not the point. The point is, do we need batting till number 9? Yes, we should. And if the captain and the coach endorse this idea, then nobody has the right to question it. I will give you a few examples of a team muddled with all rounders. The Indian cricket team who won the World Cup in 1983, and it was all fluke and no hard work. They had so many all rounders, though labeling those individuals as all rounders will be an insult to the individuals we have as all rounders today. But let's take a look at them. Mohinder Amarnath, Chetan Sharma, Kapil Dev, Madan Lal. Look at, we had 4 or 5 all rounders and nobody objected to that 36 years ago. So why is anyone objecting to having a team full of all rounders right now? The current all rounders that we have, they are more talented than the all rounders I just mentioned. Washington Sundar, Ravindra Jadeja, Hardik Pandya, Kunal Pandya, Shivam Dubey, Vijay Shankar, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. When you have such a team of talented all-rounders who can bat till number 9 or even number 10, it negates all the half all-rounders that we had years ago. The only difference why we are so rigid about all rounders today is that we have a rigid definition of what an all rounder can do. But when Kapil Dev and his contemporaries were playing, there was no definition of an all rounder. So they got away even with the most mediocre performance. But thanks to such rigid definitions and the mushrooming of a few pseudo experts and the emergence of so many channels for one giving out their expertise, we have the tendency to scrutinize every small thing. Even a dropped catch becomes a sin. And it's quite humorous coming from those people who label it as a catch that should be taken, who never took one catch in their life, who dropped more catches than they took in their entire career. And all this makes it difficult for any bowler, batter, all rounder, or player in general to put up their best, because when they try to put up their best, the analysis that comes out is that it wasn't enough. More was needed. Though for me, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Hardik Pandya, Vijay Shankar, Shivam Dubey, Washington Sundar, Kunal Pandya, Ravindra Jadeja, and even to some extent an individual who is not part of the team, Akshar Patel, are the best all-rounders we have right now who have played for the country. There are a few individuals waiting in the domestic wings. When they will get a chance, they will prove themselves. And how will they get a chance? When the likes of Kohli, Rohit, Dhawan start diminishing, the new ones will always get a chance. Another amusing thing is that we have gone so far as to call even a Steve Waugh an all-rounder. Why? Because he could bowl 7 or 8 overs for the team. But then Steve Waugh was also lucky to make his debut in the 1980s, where the definition of an all-rounder had not been set. If this same Steve Waugh had made his debut, let's say a decade ago, then he would have not been considered an all-rounder. But anybody who made his debut at a time when experts were not so rigid and were not so scrutinizing, then even the most mediocre individuals got away with being called an all-rounder. A certain all-rounder who got away despite his mediocre performances from India is Robin Singh. And looking at Robin Singh, Vijay Shankar is more talented than Robin Singh put together. Due to the restrictions of taking only 15 members from the team towards a World Cup, we cannot have all these talented all-rounders, that is Vijay Shankar, Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dubey, Washington Sundar, Ravindra Jadeja, Kunal Pandya and Bhuvneshwar Kumar in the team at the same time. A few of them will miss out, not because they don't deserve a chance, but because of the restrictions on the number of players that can be carried to a world championship tournament. But as far as a 20 over match is concerned and its subsequent tournament, one doesn't have to strain one's brain about who should be the best player in the team, because in a 20 over match it's all about fun and frolic. One doesn't have to care about technique. Time is a luxury, so you have to hit every ball. So it doesn't make a difference if you are making 40 of 20 or 18 of 6. Whatever you make, it has to be accepted. And in this series, if Kohli doesn't make too many runs, yes, a few individuals would be disappointed, but in another situation, it would be good news for other players to show their talent, especially a certain Rishabh Pant, whose place in the side, whose talent, whose credentials are being questioned again and again. In summation, is Rishabh Pant going to the 20 over World Cup? Yes. Do we need a backup keeper? Yes. One should always go with two or three wicket keepers. In this case, Sanju Samson and Rahul are the backup keepers, and we can keep Ishan Kishan on standby in case an extra batter is needed. And going by the mindset of the team management, 11 remaining games means over 100 possible team combinations, and if one of the team combinations include not playing Rohit and Kohli for one match, then so be it. And ignore the reaction from the fanatics and the pseudo experts who will scoff at this Rohit Kohli omission. The year 2020, where so many world tournaments are going to take place at the same time, from the Euro 2020 to the Hockey Pro League 2020, the World Cup 2020, the Olympics 2020, and the Junior World Cup 2020. Those born in the year 2000 will also turn 20. And if we talk about the most frivolous of things, then the year 2000 will also turn 20 years old. Means the era of 2000s is over, the era of 2010s is over, and the next decade, that is 2020 to 2029, begins. And the term millennial might just become outdated, because those who are millennials today, that is from 1980 till 1999, will start growing older. That is, they will start turning 40 and 20 respectively. But apart from these world tournaments, there is also one important tournament for me. I can't go into details about that, but for me, there is a Mission 2020, like it is for the Olympians, the Cricket World Cup, the Hockey Pro League, and other tournaments. And just like these individuals who are preparing as they are supposed to prepare, irrespective of what happens in the final result, I also have a certain method of preparation, and I am also working towards my Mission 2020. And those who are curious about what my Mission 2020 is, well, I am going to keep this under wraps. And those who want to know can contact me separately, and we will have a discussion about the same. We are still 25 days away from 2020, and what it will bring, well, that is something we should never think about, because it's just another year, just another number. Social media influencers is a new term that has begun spreading like a wildfire, like a viral fever over the past couple of years. One's popularity today is not directly proportional to how much hard work you do. Yes, that is a factor, but even if you create a content that is at best moderate, but if you are able to have over a million subscribers on your digital media sites, that is YouTube, and others, that signals your popularity irrespective of the content one has. It's not our physical presence which influences a person or coerces them to follow another individual, but it is your digital presence, knowing what the trend is and how you can exploit that trend to your liking. The internet has allowed us to be anonymous, to become someone we are not, to become confident even when we are down in dumps in our actual life. One thing that is common is knowing your target audience. One can equate internet fame with 20 over matches. It's about reacting first and then thinking whether we did the right thing afterwards. Like in 20 over matches, we have to hit every ball for a 4 or a 6. Same way to generate internet fame, giving one's opinion for or against a certain incident or emotion is the only way one can be constantly visible and keep our likes and subscribers going higher. This tendency to share our ideas every day and to show that one is an informed citizen and we can give our viewpoints. One needs to understand that giving one's viewpoint on internet, unless it is properly organized, like this very talk show where one doesn't react like the third law of motion. Instant fame always helps, but it's better if followers or one's subscribers are curated over a period of time, even if that period amounts to a decade or more. If one is wise, then they will not react to everything that is said on these digital media platforms. The individuals who post their ideas, which are often controversial, look for individuals who often react without thinking, who are short tempered, who get affected by everything that is said on these platforms, and this in turn makes that person popular who first got the idea in their head. Since time immemorial, human beings have been subjected to this idea that you are in competition with everyone. You have to say something different. One has to be different. One has to build content. Being a leader or getting people to follow your ideas is the only way to keep one sane. It's a folly if one keeps looking for audience in everything we curate. Numbers have played such an important role in determining an individual's popularity. It's about biding one's time in building one's fame. One needs to focus on the content and not the audience that will be generated after the content is published. If a few individuals don't give you the respect, then ignore those individuals. Eliminate the term competition from one's mind. We have been told since our childhood that you are in competition with yourself. Even that is a false notion. One is neither in competition with themselves nor are they competing with others. Competition cannot be the sustenance to create a good content. One's content, be it written or spoken, may not get that much attention today, but such is the human nature that they will themselves make your content popular when they think that there is nothing else available. So it's all about biding time and being patient. Another word that should be eliminated from one's vocabulary is the word success. One is not a success or a failure only because others like or ignore your content. One is successful when you know that your content has meaning, even if others don't see it that way. Targeting the content to your audience's preference will take away one's creativity. The concern for what the audience wants should be only at best 5%, and what you want to tell others should be 95%. We as individuals are fickle minded and gullible. We will jump at the first chance of attaining fame instead of grappling with why individuals don't watch or listen to content one has nurtured with so much effort. Then it's time not to bother about such things. One will often give you the excuse that one doesn't have time to watch others' content, though they will watch or listen to the most puerile of content because that's what their nature is. But it doesn't mean that just because individuals like puerile content and individuals whose content is not being watched or listened to regularly will change their approach. Don't change your approach. Keep your content as you have planned, even if it doesn't cater to a large audience or what people want. There is no formula for knowing what people want. Keep the content as it should be. Don't change it. Forget what the audience wants. The audience will come to your content in time, even if it takes 10, 15, 20, 25 years. One's experience is determined by the amount of time spent doing a thing. So if puerile content is the nature of a few individuals and that is what they are rigid about, just because people want such sensational and puerile content, it doesn't mean that one will change one's nature if puerile and sensationalism is not part of your vision and mission. Please send your valuable suggestions through your comments and audio recording to the email ID adityatherewriter@gmail.com. You can also like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and Facebook page and stay tuned for the next episode.